Alright guys, thank you for joining me for part 2. Again, this is a YouTube video. You can pause, rewind, kind of go at your own speed. That's the reason I'm doing this on video instead of just saying it for each class, is because I want you to feel comfortable with it, really master it, and go at your own speed. In this video we're going over some of the harder questions, and so you may need to do that extensively on this video. So, question 11, when you look at it, it doesn't really look that hard. Which factors most encourage the growth of this trade? Well, you gotta understand this. Colonial transatlantic trade. We're talking about trade from the colonies to Europe to Africa, to colonies to Europe to Africa, all the way around. So which factors most encourage the growth of this trade? It's a question. Maybe even a question that you completely understand. But when you normally see a word like most here, the question doesn't mean what you think it would mean. Like this says, which factors most encourage the growth of this trade? Well, 95% of the times there's going to be one factor that encourages the growth of this trade. So I would change this. I would say, which a choice is a factor in this trade, of this trade. So, which answer choice is a factor in the growth of this trade? I mean, if you can boil this down between two things that you know are factors, then you're like a really bright kid. But 99% of the time, there's not even two factors presented. It's one thing that is definitely related to this, and the rest have nothing to do with this. And so, like, this is slave trade. This is the trade of crops from America to Europe, and Europe would give manufactured goods and stuff to Africa, and Africa would give America, you guessed it, some slaves. So, does the steam engine have anything to do with this? It's a big fat nope. Does cash crops have something to do with this? Well, we've talked about cash crops. It's crops that are sent to Europe, like tobacco. Maybe. Development of the factory system. Have we talked about factories? That would be a big fat nope. And protective tariffs. Don't know what it is, that means it's not important. So, B. Hopefully you see by switching the question, we're talking about what is a factor of colonial transatlantic trade. Only one of them is. We don't need to know, which one's better than the others. Alright, question 7. It looks daunting, it looks hard, it looks tough, but there's a lot of information provided to us. So first we need to figure out what the question is. This is going to be a key to the image, key to the text, key to the picture question. So these headlines refer to the decision in which Supreme Court case. So we understand what these mean, but it doesn't give us the most information. We're talking about which Supreme Court case dealt with slavery, Missouri, unconstitutional, around 1857. Now, I would write that stuff down. Which Supreme Court case dealt with, some of these key points. Alright, we have 2 more left. You guys should be able to do 42 on your own, I think, and 31 on your own. So I'm going to read them for you guys, and on your worksheet I'm going to have a place where you guys can write what you think the question is. Let's see how good you guys are at this. So, Number 42. Which statement best explains the significance of the Mayflower Compact? What is this I mean, this is a question. Don't get me wrong. This is a question. It's a question that you might even be able to understand. But please change it into your own words, even if you understand it. Because, like, again, best. Well, do all of these explain the Mayflower Compact? 99% of the time, it's just one of them. So, it limits the power of future colonial governments. It weakens the influence of in regional government. It establishes a form of self-government based on a social contract. It guaranteed liberties for colonists through local government. Let's see if you can change this into a question in your own words. This is just rephrase. Now, last one, this is like a key to the text question. This is our text right here. When you look at text like this, they're going to give you a lot of information. And there's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of garbage. There's a lot of useless stuff. So your job is kind of to wade through that, swim through that, run through that, and figure out what is actually important. So like Steve Mintz, colonial, dimensions of change, colonial New England, none of this matters. 2011, none of that matters. 1636, okay, we've kind of talked about that era. Thomas Hooker, oh, that's a name we've talked about, established the first English settlement in Connecticut. Convinced that government should rest on free consent, he blanked. So, the quote-unquote question is, which of the following completes the sentence above? Well, this is technically saying, which of the following represents the big question mark? So, let's just change it and give ourselves some more information. Thomas Hooker did what? I mean, start your question with Thomas Hooker. Thomas Hooker did what? Let's see how well you guys can rephrase your question starting with Thomas Hooker. That's kind of going to do it for this video series on the rephrasing the question, the fill in the blank questions, and the key to the text questions. We're going to practice this a lot, and the goal is to get you to a place where you feel comfortable with all parts of a question. You feel comfortable with the chart, you feel comfortable with the question stem, you feel comfortable with answer choices, you feel comfortable with the information provided, and how to use it to your advantage. They put a lot of information in here to your advantage. So like for instance 52, we're talking about the Puritans. Anything just take what you know about the Puritans right now, and you can use that to solve this question probably. And if you can't, you can take my system plus any limited information you have about the Puritans to solve this question. So that's going to do it for now. The next video is going to be about importance and how to apply that to your question answering process.